Hi Mark, I'm Rachel. My student number is 24. The title of this speech is A Guerrilla Gardener in South Central LA. The speaker is Finley. I'm a junior student in NCUE. I'm going to begin in this speech. I live in South Central. This is South Central. Liquor stores, fast food, vacant lots. So the city planners, they get together and they figure they're going to change them South Central to make it represent something else. So they change it to South Los Angeles. This is going to fix what's going wrong in the city. This is South Los Angeles. Laughter. Liquor stores, fast food, vacant lots. Just like 26.5 million other Americans, I live in a food desert. South Central Los Angeles, home of the drive-thru and the drive-by. Funny thing is, the drive-thrus are killing more people than the drive-bys. People are dying from terrible disease in South Central Los Angeles. For instance, the obesity rate in my neighborhood is 5 times higher than, say, Beverly Hills, which is probably 8-10 miles away. I got tired of seeing this happening. And I was wondering, how would you feel if you had no access to healthy food? If every time you walk out your door, you see the ill effects that the prison food system has on your neighborhood? I see wheelchair spots and sold like used cars. I see dialysis centers popping up like Starbucks. And I figured, this has to stop. So I figured that the problem is the solution. Food is the problem, and food is the solution. Plus, I got tired of driving 45 minutes round trip to get an apple that wasn't impregnated with pesticides. So what I did, I planted a food forest in front of my house. It was on a strip of land that we call a parkway. It's like 150 feet by like 10 feet. Thing is, it's owned by the city, but you have to maintain it. So I'm like, cool, I can do whatever the hell I want, since it's my responsibility and I gotta maintain it. And this is how I decided to maintain it. So me and my group, area green grunts, we got together and we started planting my food forest. Fruit trees. You know, the whole 9 vegetables, what we do, we're a pay-it-forward kind of group. We is composed of gardeners from all walks of life, from all over the city, and it's completely volunteer and everything we do is free. And the garden, it was beautiful. And then somebody complained. The city came down on me and basically gave me a citation saying that I had to remove my garden, which this citation was turning into a warrant. And I'm like, come on, really? A warrant for planting food on a piece of land that you could care less about? Laughter. And I was like, cool, bring it, because this time it wasn't coming up. So LA Times got a hold of it. Steve Lobs did a story on it and talked to the councilman and one of the Green Grounds members. They put up a petition on change.org, and with 900 signatures, we were a success. We had a victory on our hands. My councilman ever called in and said how they endorse and love what we're doing. I mean, come on, why wouldn't they? LA leads the United States in vacant lots that the city actually owns. They own 26 square miles of vacant lots. There's 20 central parks. That's enough space to plant 725 million tomato plants. Why in the hell would they not okay with this? Green one, plant will give you 10,000 seeds. For $1 worth of green beans will give you $75 worth of produce. It's my gospel. When I'm telling people, grow your own food. Growing your own food is like printing your own money. A pause. See, I have a legacy in South Central. I grew up here there, I raised my sons there, and refused to be a part of this manufactured reality that was manufactured for me by some people. And I'm manufacturing my own reality. See, I'm an artist. Gardening is my graffiti. I grow my art, just like a graffiti artist. Where they build fireworks, me, I build fire lawns, parkways. I use the garden, the soul, like it's a piece of cloth, and the plants and the trees. That's my embellishment for that cloth. You'd be surprised what the soul could do if you let it be your canvas. You just couldn't imagine how amazing a sunflower is and how it affects people. So what happened? I have witnessed my garden become a tool for education, a tool for the transformation of my neighborhood. To change the community, you have to change the composition of the soul. We are the soul. You'd be surprised how kids are affected by this. Gardening is the most therapeutic and defiant act you can do, especially in the inner city, because you get strawberries. Laughter. I remember this time there was this mother and a daughter came. It was like 10:30 at night, and they were in my yard. I came out and they looked so ashamed. So I'm like, man, it made me feel bad that they were there. And I told them, you don't have to do this like this. This is on the street for a reason. It made me feel ashamed to see people that were this close to me that were hungry. And this only reinforced why I do this. And people ask me, Finn, aren't you afraid people are going to steal your food? And like, hell no. I ain't afraid they're gonna steal it. It's why it's on the street. This is a whole idea. I want them to take it, but at the same time, I want them to take back their house. There's another time when I put a garden in this homeless shelter in downtown Los Angeles. They are the guys. They helped me unload the truck. It was cool, and they just share the stories about how this affects them and how they used to plan with their mother and their grandmother. And it was just cool to see how this changed them. And it was only for that one moment. So Green Grounds has gone on to plant maybe 20 gardens. We've had like 50 people come to our dig-ins and participate. And it's all volunteers. If kids grow kale, kids eat kale. Laughter. If they grow tomatoes, they eat tomatoes. Applause. But when none of this is presented to them, if they are not shown how food affects the mind and the body, they blindly eat whatever the hell you put in front of them. I see young people and they want to work, but they're in this thing where they're caught up. I see kids of color and they're just on this track that's designed for them. They lead them to nowhere. So with gardening, I see an opportunity where we can train these kids to get back over their communities, to have a sustainable life. And when we do this, who knows, we might produce the next George Washington cover. But if we don't change the composition of the soul, we will never do this. Now this is one of my plans. This is what I want to do. I want to plant a whole block of gardens where people can share in the food in the same block. I want to take shipping containers and turn them into healthy cafes. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about no free shit, because free is not sustainable. The funny thing about sustainability, you have to sustain it. Laughter. Applause. What I'm talking about is putting people to work and getting kids off the street and letting them know the joy, the pride, and the honor in growing your own food, opening farmers markets, So what I want to do here, we're gonna make this sexy. So I want us all to become like revolutionary renegades, gangsters, gangster gardeners. You gotta flip the script on what a gangster is. If you aren't a gardener, you aren't a gangster. Get gangster with your shovel, okay? And let that be your weapon of choice. A house. So basically, if you want to meet with me, if you want to meet, don't call me. If you want to sit around in cushy chairs and have meetings where you talk about doing some shit. If you want to meet with me, come to the garden with your shovel so we can plant some shit. Peace. Thank you. Applause. Thank you. Applause. I finished this speech. Thank you.